After much anticipation, members of the White House press corps had the chance to question President Joe Biden from the White House. He's answered reporters' questions since becoming president, but this was his first official press conference. Amanda Vinicky joins us now with the highlights and what it means for Illinois. Amanda.
Brandis, much is often made about a president's first 100 days in office. It's when a president establishes his priorities, sets in place his style. Biden's big goal for getting 100 million shots into the arms of Americans within that window, thanks to medical breakthroughs and contracts that, at least in part, were set in motion, by the way, by his predecessor. He's already met that goal, so he's upping it by doubling.
That's right, 200 million shots in 100 days. I know it's ambitious, twice our original goal, but no other country in the world has even come close, not even close to what we were doing. I believe we can do it.
About 5.1 million doses so far have gone into the arms of Illinoisans, though the governor has indicated he expects the feds are going to be coming through with a lot more of that one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine by the end of this month. Now, Biden says above anything else, his main focus is the coronavirus.
But the fundamental problem is getting people some peace of mind so they can go to bed at night and not stare at the ceiling wondering whether they lost their health insurance, whether they're going to lose a family member, whether they're going to be in a position where they're going to lose their home because they can't pay their mortgage.
Reporters, however, did not focus on COVID. They grilled him on immigration. The president scoffed when asked whether a surge of unaccompanied minors at the United States southern border was acceptable.
That's a serious question, right? Is it acceptable to me? Come on. That's why we're going to be moving 1,000 of those kids out quickly. That's why I got Fort Bliss opened up. That's why I've been working from the moment this started to happen to try to find additional access for children to be able to safely, not just children, but particularly children, to be able to safely be housed.
Despite all of that grilling, there wasn't one clear takeaway when it comes to immigration. Jackie Stevens heads Northwestern University's Deportation Research Clinic, and she says that Biden's statements were at times contradictory.
On the one hand, it seemed like he was reiterating a policy of deterrence and trying to keep people out of the United States. And, as I mentioned, he's talking about continuing the policy with, Mexico and requiring people to stay there, which would seem to try to placate critics from the right. On the other hand, he did say some really supportive things about the importance of our asylum policy and enforcing it.
Now look for more news from Biden tomorrow. He says that's when he will announce a major infrastructure plan.
So that we can compete and create significant numbers of really good paying jobs.
Another topic the president was pressed on: voting rights. Biden called GOP efforts to restrict voting un-American and sick.
And so I'm convinced that we'll be able to stop this because it is the most pernicious thing. This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle. I mean, this is gigantic, what they're trying to do.
The president says to that end, he will work to pass a recently approved bill by the Democratic-controlled U.S. House that would require automatic voter registration in all states. Illinois already has that, and just today, Illinois went in the opposite direction with the legislature passing a bill that makes permanent changes that were put in place for last year's pandemic-era election, things like voting by mail and drop-off ballot boxes.
Voting is the cornerstone of our democracy upon which all of our civil liberties rest. And you look around the country today, and there's states that are trying to limit one's ability to vote. Let's take a look at Georgia, trying to limit drop box access or make it a crime to give food or drinks to those waiting in line to vote. Coming off of COVID, some people still just don't feel comfortable voting, and that's why we should focus on expanding one's ability to vote and the security of that vote.
That measure, as I said, did pass the Illinois General Assembly, though many Republicans voted against it. Speaking of elections, when pressed by reporters, Biden says, yes, he does plan to run for re-election.
That is my expectation.
So is that a yes, that you are running for re-election?
Look, I don't know where you guys come from, man. I've never been able to travel. I'm a great respecter of fate. I've never been able to plan 3.5 years ahead for certain.
Now in Illinois, we've got a big election coming up before the presidential race, and that is next year's statewide contest, including that for governor. Governor J.B. Pritzker recently pouring $35 million into his campaign war chest. But like Biden, Pritzker says he is not focused on campaigning and elections. He says he's focused on the coronavirus. Brandis, back to you.
Amanda, thank you.